3 o'clock in the morning. I may not sound as chipper as normal because I am suffering with this steroid that I have to take, or these steroids, lots of steroids that I have to take because I get my chemo infusion tomorrow. Anyway, it's always like this. I can't sleep to save my life. I decided to go and look for something I could edit. So I already put out several, or about 4B pictures from this session that I really liked, and I edited them, but I wanted to find another one. I wanted to see if I missed one and see if I could make something from another one. And so I went through and I kind of landed on this one. So I'm going to edit it in real time for anyone who might be interested. I want this bee to be the main subject. I don't feel like it's getting enough attention right now, so I'm going to crop it. That's what I usually do first on everything. And I'm just going to do this till I feel something, till I get a vision. Need less stuff. More bee, less stuff. I like that light stuff to the right, so I'm trying to keep that in there somehow without it being like overpowering. Also, this feels a little bit boring, so I'm gonna like try turning it. Wait. I'm liking that better. Okay. I think I'm just trying to visualize it, you know, as like a finished product and on display. Okay. Apparently I'm very indecisive on steroids too. Okay. All right, he looks good, but and even though I like the white stuff or this stuff over here, it's kind of taken away from him. So I either need to darken everything up and keep him bright, or I need to lighten everything up and keep him dark, because he's bright and dark. So we're going to try both. Just going to see. I'm going to play around with lightening up. I don't typically go light because it's just not my style, even though I really like it, but it really wouldn't go with my particular style. It might like stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, I say I really like it, but one of the things that bothers me about it is I feel like it looks washed out, and I like a lot of detail. Let me try bringing the whites down. That's helping a little, because you know, you just don't get any detail in these whites that get blown out. I'll try bringing the highlights down a little bit. Also, if you're not shooting in RAW, you definitely need to be, because you wouldn't have this much control over editing. RAW just basically means it takes it and it doesn't, like JPEG will just embed the colors in there, and you can't go back to like what the original scene was. I don't know if that made sense or not. Okay, no, I'm not going to do color yet. I'm not going to work on color yet. I was going to go over here to detail, and not detail, sorry, effects, and try to dehaze some of it. that does bring some more richness to it. Let's give it a little bit of texture. But then, I mean, too much texture, now it's starting to lose, like, let's put the texture all the way up and we see that it's losing some of that. I mean, it looks cool, but it's losing some of the softness, I feel like, that is, you know, indicative of the story of the flowers. So, like, yeah, if I brought the texture all the way down. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want him to be, you know, sharp, and I want the texture of everything else to be kind of strong. So let's do a mask. It's not going to know what my subject is, I don't think. I mean, sorry, Sky. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's going to know what the subject is. Yeah, see, it took the flowers and the bee, but that gives us a start. I can paint out. No, I'm not going to do it that way. This is just going to take too long. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to do a mask, and I'm just going to do a brush, and I'm just going to brush him. Okay, so we brush him, brush him, brush him, brush him, brush him, brush him. Oh, I got a little too much over here, so I'll make it smaller in my left bracket. And then I'm going to hit Alt, and that's going to take, that's going to make it a minus. It's going to take the mask back out that I just did, that I painted. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to go back over it a little bit more because this is feathered, and it won't, sometimes it doesn't pick it all up. Okay, but you want it to be feathered because otherwise it would make a harsh line. Now let's go to effects. Let's go to clarity. I'm pushing up that clarity, so he's standing out more. Now I'm doing texture. He's standing out more, and I'm going to do detail and do sharpen to get him to stand out more. Okay, so I mean that's better. And now here's the fun part. Now I can take this mask and I can right click and I can say duplicate. We don't want to just duplicate, we want to duplicate and invert the mask. So now it's just got the background selected, and I can come down here and play with the effects and bring the clarity down. See, now that makes him stand out even more. So that's a little too much. Okay, I'm going to play with texture too. Bring down the texture. Kind of like there. Sometimes I feel like I'm not brave enough, and I wish I'd be a little more brave. I'm going to try dehazing it some. Ooh. Obviously that's too much. If I bring it up to where you can't really see the line anymore. But I feel like that just doesn't look real. That's just too much. Or I'm just being chicken. I don't know. But see, when I bring it back up a little bit, we start getting these darker parts, and those darker parts are competing with him because they're creating contrast. Anything that creates contrast is going to draw your eye. So, but I can try one thing. I can go over here and I can pull the shadows up, and that takes out some of that contrast. I could do it either way. I think I liked it better doing it the other way with the effects. Yeah. I don't know. I'm liking this. We may not try it both ways. But what I almost always do with all my stuff is give it a vignette. Where's the vignette? Hello? It's under effects, right? Oh, because you can't vignette. But that makes sense. You can't vignette on a mask. Well, I don't know why you're hitting on this one. But okay, I'm going to hit enter, and I just want to see kind of vignette. Also, this is taking the whole thing. Oh. Also, the more you edit, the more muddy you start making it. Oh, that's kind of fun. Anyway, so I probably shouldn't have done the dehaze, the global dehaze before, but anyway, too late now. I'm not going to worry about it. But I think I will lighten up that part. But what did I come over here to do? Oh, the vignette. Okay. It's just really making it, giving us those dark spots again. If I do an opposite vignette, it kind of creates the same effect. It draws your attention to the darker thing instead of like doing a dark vignette and it draws your attention to the lighter thing. We're doing it the opposite. I just don't know how this is going to look with my other stuff though. But anyway, I'm going to do another mask real quick and do a brush and come over here and just brush this and maybe this. Oh, that's not too bad. And just pull up the shadows, maybe even the whites, maybe the exposure just a little bit. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm talking low because it's just hard to talk. I'm tired. But I promise you I cannot sleep. I try and I try and I try and I try. Okay. Okay, then I asked myself, like, color. Do I want to do anything with the color? Start with the shadows and let's cool down the shadows a little bit. Just see what that does for us. I don't like the stronger green. I don't think, yeah, no. And you probably can't see the edits I'm doing right now, like, because it's really small. And it doesn't show a big difference. It does to me, but I mean, okay, there, look, that's different. Okay, whoops. I don't like anything that any of this is doing. So I'm going to double click to get it back to where it was. Actually, I do like the bringing down the shadows. I did like that a little bit. Okay, let's try the mids. As you can see, a lot of this is just playing. I mean, that's truly how you learn, is you just play. And you see what other people do too, and you get ideas. I mean, I like the overall look of that, but I do feel like you're still like, is it the flowers that's the subject or is it the bee? And I kind of am a stickler for like one main subject with a secondary subject. So I like this better. And then I like to look at it very small just to see what it looks like. And a lot of times I'll see something, but right now this is kind of making me happy. And then I just want to, let's go back up here. Let's go here. And are these pinks? Let's see. Nope, because when I do the slider, nothing happens. So let me go to the reds and do the slider, and something kind of happens. And so therefore I'm going to look like if I, but it's nothing, there's not enough happening, I feel like. I'm leaning back to see. Okay, so the problem with making it more red like that is red is a power color and it's usually going to get the attention before anything else. So I think I'm not going to do that. I'm not really going to, I'll take out a little saturation. Let me see what happens if I darken it too. Oh, no. Don't like that. Okay. And then I definitely want to play with the yellow for a minute because he's yellow. So let's, yeah, there we go. Let's pop his yellow. Give him some more yellow. What if I brighten him? It's brightening the background, which is problematic. And then do I want to change the hue of the yellow? Probably not. No, I liked it the way it was. Okay. The green. I need to look at the green. Okay, let's try the hue first. Okay, so if I do that, it kind of takes some of that green out. And I thought I liked it at first, but I don't know. If I do that, I definitely don't like that. So maybe, no, I think I liked it the way it was. Okay, but what if I take out some of the saturation? No, I liked it where it was. Maybe just a tiny bit. Okay, and if I darken it, let's see if I lighten it. No. If I darken it. Yes, but is that just because I always like darker and now I'm like kind of like destroying the whole vision of making this lighter? No, I think, yeah, because like I said, I don't want a lot of contrast, so we're going to do that. But it's bothering me down here. Let me just see if orange does anything. Huh, yes. Well, yes, it does. Orange is our main color. That's what those flowers are. Or at least it thinks that's what they are. Okay, again, if I bring it like that, it's prettier. But it does take away from our little guy just a little bit. But maybe I'm okay with that. You know, like, don't always just stick to the rules. Don't be such a stickler for the rules that you lose, something good. I think I do like it a little darker, but I'm going to bring it down. Let's see, but see, when it's small, I do notice those flowers a lot more. So let me just take that off for a second. It's okay though. I'm okay with that. Okay. So I was going to try to fix this. I don't like this edge, but I think it's better after we messed with the oranges. Okay, I'm going to call that good. And I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate the photo. Oh yeah, I usually look at the white balance too. No. Yeah, I think I want to cool it down just a little bit. Just a little. Okay, that was kind of a lot actually. And then, no, I knew I wasn't going to like the tint. Oh, what about the vibrance? No, it's just pulling out too much yellow. Saturation? No. Well, maybe a tiny bit. Reset edits. Yay! Oh gosh, look at that. I didn't mean to go that. I didn't know if I wanted to go that far back. But wow, what a difference. Look at that, y'all. I mean, I think this is like a really nice photo. And I almost never looked at this again or never did anything with this because I didn't like it the first time I saw it. And if I hadn't edited it, I still wouldn't like it. What's weird to me though is then when I click over here, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of pink and red. And then I always want to I start messing with it and trying to take some of it out. But then I have to remind myself, like, it's only because I'm comparing it to the other one. And that's usually when I'm like, oh, I guess I should do something halfway in between. Let me just come over here and do copy settings, hold on. Control C. And let's just take off everything. What? No. Okay. Take off everything. We don't want to copy anything except the crop. Where's the crop? There it is, crop. Okay. Copy. Now we go Control V for paste. And now we have our exact crop. Okay. So now, gosh, this is going to be, I have to get the other one out of my head and just edit it like I would have if I wasn't going to go light. All right, so, and you know what I didn't do on the last one? I didn't look at the recommended edits. And I do actually like to do that sometimes, because that's like kind of cool. So there's kind of a version of the light one I think I like mine better. Yeah, I like mine better. Okay. There's kind of a darker one. No. Oh, let's see. What's this? That's closer to what I would normally do. I mean, I like that. I like drama and dark, and so I kind of like that. But I feel like this is also a little in between. What if we did that and we gave it more of a vignette? Or gave it a vignette? Now I want to see if I still like this one better. I feel like I like an in between. So I can click on this one and bring it down. So bring it all the way out and then bring it to where I like it. I'm almost back at the beginning. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. I like this too. I'm kind of liking this more. But I do want some vignette. And I do want some more dehaze. Maybe. But okay, you know what it is? It's too much texture on I still want to do the whole, like, I wonder if I can copy the masks. Yes, I'm going to copy the masks. Let's do that. But then I'll have to, okay, I just want to copy the mask. Then I'll have to do, no. So that's interesting. It's got my edit, and now it's giving me different ideas. Ew, no, I'm not going down there. Okay, I'm not going down that road. I'm not getting my masks, I'm copying. I'm saying Control C, and I'm taking off everything except masking. Copy, Control B. Okay, so now, and I saw that it did something. Okay, here's our mask. That is the background. Let's go down here and see. Let's go to color. Or we didn't do color. We didn't do color or light. My brain's not working. We did effects. And we did. Yeah. I think that, I can go even further because we have more contrast now. So I can take out more texture. And then for just our B, I gave our B lots of texture. Let's see if I can give him even more. Probably. And more clarity. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, enter. Oh, let me see what it looks like without that. Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, but we need to do it right here too. Yeah, that helped. Okay. Enter. And then on the color with this, I think I like that. No. I barely made any adjustments, but it made me happy. To push the vibrance for fun, no. Right there. No. I think I want to look at taking out some of the yellow on just the background, which is this one. So let's go to color, and it doesn't let you do it as it won't let you pick this specific color. So I might just have to, no, I don't want it, but I can cool it down, and that'll take some of the yellow out, which makes our bee stand out more. And then now I'm feeling like it can use a little bit more vignette. But oddly enough, I want to come in a little bit on the crop. Yeah. So you probably saw a lot of things that you liked, and you're like, no, don't change that. No, I like it that way, and oh no, I like, you messed it up or whatever. And that's because you have, things that what your eye likes and your style, and so and that's good. You want to keep your style. I'm just showing you how I get to my style so that you can learn better how to get to your style by playing around with all these sliders and everything, and masking and things like that. So I'm gonna call this good, I think. I need to look at all my colors like I did with the other one, like I always do. So let's look at, what do we decide? It was orange was the main color on that. So if we make it more pink, yeah, I do. I like making it more pink on this one too. And then now we can take out the yellow, but if we do that, we're going to take out some of the yellow of our bee. I just want to see something here. Made him more orange. And also want to see what happens if I darken it or lighten it. I think I like lightening it. And then, because we're going darker here, I think I'm going to go ahead and do another vignette. And I mean, not vignette, a mask, but it's going to be a vignette. And so instead of doing a brush, I'm going to do a radial. I'm going to do this, make it a little bigger because it's feathered. I don't know. Okay, and then I'm going to, no, where am I? I'm going to invert it. I'll just duplicate and invert. So now I'm dealing with the background, and I'll come down here and bring down, I'm going to start with the whites and the highlights. So I'm not bringing everything down. It kind of looked like it brought everything down, but it didn't, not as much as doing an overall exposure thing would have. But I also want to see what happens if we do the overall exposure. I mean, just barely. Brought up shadows a bit to give it less contrast. I mean, I could obviously just go, hey, less contrast, but I almost never like those results, so most of the time it just looks like it washes it out. I could let up on the blacks a little bit, but I don't think, well, maybe, nope, I don't think so. I don't want to do that. And then dehazing always kind of helped, always messes with that too. It can either go darker by dehazing or... All right. I'm calling that good. Because we cropped in so much, we did lose some quality, and we've got some grain here, and we could go and do some denoise and stuff like that. But, I'm not really doing this for a very large print. This could be on one of my note cards, and that, this would be perfectly fine for a note card. I mean, as you can see, it's almost the size of a note card right now, and it looks fine. I do wish he was a little sharper. Also, some of the noise in the grain, some of the noise is making him less sharp. All right, now let's compare. Let's compare the two edits. The dark one, stop doing that. The dark one and the light one. Whoa, very, very different images. Man, I mean, I really liked this image until I was doing this image. And I really like this image. I'm curious, if I had done this image first and then that image, and I had been working on this image all the time and, gotten my head wrapped around this image and in love with this image, and then I said, okay, let's go back and look at this one, would I not like it as much? Possibly. And if I put it in Threads or something and I ask y'all which one you like better, you're all just going to say, I like something in between. But that's not an option. You have to pick one. I don't know how you're going to pick one if I can't pick one. Okay. That's it. I will export them and maybe put them in Threads or something. All right. Thanks. It's now 3:46, so I killed 45 minutes, and I'm not tired at all. So I think I'll just go mess around on ChatGPT and ask it all kinds of random questions that I'm curious about, because I have a lot of curiosity. All right. Peace out.